Well, welcome ladies and gentlemen to round 6 of the British Minibikes. I'm Paul Minihane and I'm joined by Alan Lord. The first race we've got on the grid is going to be Junior Gearbox mixed in with the Metro Kits. Owen Ron Ryder just going down there. That's Harry Beach number 83, but it is Will Lathrop getting a flyer out there then. Another good grid here this weekend, Alan.
Yeah, very good. The Junior Gearbox class seems to be going from strength to strength, doesn't it?
It certainly is, and I do say every week one of my favourite because a great little action shot there, Will Lathrop going through. I'll give you the championship standings as they come here now because we're at a crucial point in the championship, round 6. In the Junior Gearbox 140s, it's Daniel Swift leading the championship from Sam Jones, Abs Thomas. A bit further down in the Metro Kit 50s is Harvey Claridge and Jay Copper. Great aerial shots here. You can see we've had quite a bit of standing water on the circuit. We had quite the first block of racing. Quite a bit of rain came down, didn't it, Alan?
Yeah, it's worthwhile pointing out that little Abs Thomas out there, she very nearly won her first race. As you say, it was absolutely standing water. She flew off and she was holding her. That's a brilliant shot, isn't it, with Tom Alexander? She flew off, got a good lead, then sadly chucked it away in the hairpins. Unluckily for her, 2 laps later, I can't remember, I think it was Charlie Farrer caused the red flag and it didn't roll back to her standing, but which meant she ended up with a third, I believe it was. But yeah, unlucky. She was really on for her first win there.
We've spoken a few times about Abs as well. First time she's moved over to the gearbox this year, and she really has come along. And in that race, she was a good half a lap in front of the rest of the field and really riding very controlled until that point. Yeah,
she'd mastered the wet, hadn't she? I love that shot from Tom Alexander.
It's like almost like a fighter pilot looking out of the cockpit. Well, Will Lathrop is the leader at the moment. Let's have a look. Looks like Franco Bourne is starting to close that gap. That's the long shot of the straightaway up to there. You can just see in the distance Franco Bourne now starting to close onto the rear wheel of Will Lathrop there. And just going back to the championships in the Metro Kits 70s, it is Franco Bourne, the guy who's sitting in second place. He's leading that class at the moment from Tom Alexander. Will Lathrop there. Oh, looks like Franco Bourne has made that move down the inside. A great move there. Just found that bit of space that he needed. Back on board with Tom Alexander. I think Tom Alexander's sitting in about 3rd or 4th position at this point.
Yeah, I think back there with Will Lathrop, he could hear the 2-stroke behind him. There's no point fighting it. They're not fighting each other for points. Will's still winning the Junior Gearbox class with a 140cc 4-strokes. So there's very little point holding himself up, against the 2-stroke that he wasn't racing.
Certainly is, and they're just going past the number 83 machine that we saw spectacularly throw it away on the start. Good to see that he's remounted and rejoined the race. No injuries or problems there. As Franco Bourne at the front of the field, Will Lathrop there in 2nd position. Also mentions out there for Sam Jones, Abs Thomas that we've mentioned earlier as well, Harry Lee, Daniel Swift, Jake Aldridge, Lewis Jones, those are the Gearbox 140s. Also out in the Metro Kit 50s, we've got Jay Copper, Harvey Claridge, and as I say, Franco Bourne, who's leading the Metro Kit 70s at the minute, and then the number 5 machine just coming up towards us now. That's for Tom Alexander that you've seen the onboard camera with. Just going through our position there. As Franco Bourne, very stylish as he comes through there. The rider we'll see riding in a couple of other classes as well later today.
Yeah, Franco rides in the junior production class in the Mini Motos. As you can see, he's a nice fit for both of this, the Mini GP 70 and the Mini Motos. That's a brilliant shot looking down there. I don't know if you realise, if we get a shot later on in the programme, that we filled the whole paddock here. We were up to almost capacity again. It's good to see.
It was a great turnout on the day. Just a shame about the weather in the morning. Played havoc with my hair.
Mine too.
So as our leader just goes past Franco Bourne, Will Lathrop there in 2nd place, then the back marker there just tucked on behind him. You can see that's on Tom Alexander coming up towards us. Not too sure who we've got in front there with the orange and blue leathers.
I think that might be Harry Lee.
There it is. So just going through. Back with Franco Bourne, your race leader, coming towards the closing stages on this one as well. Just 1 or 2 more laps to go. Just going to pick his way through some of the back markers, get safely around the outside, no problem at all. That was a bit of a snatch there, a bit of a wide-eyed moment for Franco Bourne. Do you think that's the track conditions? Maybe hit a bit of dry or wet there?
Yeah, I think it's probably still a bit greasy from the earlier rain.
Good recovery there. Anyway, that could have been a bit of a moment there for Franco Bourne. Well, as I say, we are probably coming towards the closing stages. Tom Alexander just going through there in about 4th position in the moment, picking his way through some of the traffic. And Tom Alexander will be sitting in 2nd position in the Metrokit GP 70 class behind that man there, which is number 21, Franco Bourne. And there he goes, both hands punched in the air. A win there for Franco Bourne. In the junior gearbox 50s, Will Lathrop took the win from Sam Jones, Abs Thomas. Metrokit GP 50s, Jay Copper from Harvey Claridge. And in the GP 70s, Franco Bourne from the number 5, Tom Alexander.